No one in Dust Creek wanted that ranch, not for $50, not even for 10. So when Cole Remington slid 22 silver dollars across the table, the entire saloon went silent. The old land clerk did not smile, did not joke. He only stared at Cole like a man watching someone sign his own death warrant and said, "That land is not cursed by rumor. It is cursed by truth." But Cole Remington did not believe in curses, he believed in land fences and second chances. The ranch stood 3 miles outside town. Broken corral posts leaning like tired men, the house empty and groaning in the wind as the sun fell red behind. The hills, Cole felt, watched not by animals, but by something older inside the house. Dust covered everything except one spot beneath the ceiling beam, too clean, too deliberate. Then he saw the rope hanging loose, swaying gently, dark stains soaked into the wood beneath it. Old but undeniable, someone had died there outside. The wind screamed, and then he heard it, a soft sound, almost like a breath, a woman's breath. Cole stepped into the yard, revolver half drawn, and saw the shed at the far edge. Inside lay an Apache girl. Young rope burns on her neck, bruises on her wrists. Dark hair stuck to her face like she had fought to the end. This was not murder, this was execution. The ranch was not sold cheap because it was worthless. It was sold cheap because someone wanted this truth buried. Then a board creaked behind him. Someone else was there. Cole rode back into Dust Creek at sunrise, dust clinging to him like a warning. The town looked calm, too calm for what it hid. He placed the rope on the sheriff's desk and said he found it on his ranch. Sheriff Harlan did not look surprised. He said the land no longer belonged to Cole, and that silence was part of the price. Cole realized then that the town already knew every man, every woman, every prayer on Sunday carried the lie. Outside the general store, an old Apache man named the girl Nayeli, and said she saw something she should not have. That night, Cole was followed. Shadows moved, knives flashed and threats whispered, but he returned to the ranch and found Apache symbols carved into the shed wall, a warning they had tried to erase her. A rifle cocked behind him, and 3 townmen stepped out, ranchers' killers wearing clean faces. One told Cole to walk away or die like her. And in that moment, Cole understood this was not over, it was just beginning. The first shot cracked the night like thunder, and the man rushing Cole Remington dropped before his knife ever touched flesh. The others froze for half a second, the kind of pause that decides who lives and who dies in the West. Cole moved fast, boots biting into dust, revolver barking again. One man screamed, clutching his shoulder. The third ran toward the horses. But Cole fired, and the horse went down, dragging the man into the dirt by dawn. The truth could no longer hide. Cole rode straight into Dust Creek, with Nayeli's rope tied to his saddle horn swinging. Like a judgment bell, doors shut, windows. Darkened men who once smiled now looked away. He stopped in front of the sheriff's office and shouted her name, Nayeli. The sound carried through the street like a curse. Sheriff Harlan stepped out, hands raised, talking about law and order, but his voice shook. Cole dismounted, slow eyes burning, and said, "Law does not hang girls in sheds." Harlan tried to lie, but the rope told a better story. People gathered, whispers turned to murmurs, then to shouts. A woman cried. An old rancher fell to his knees. The lie was cracking. Cole threw papers onto the dirt, land deeds, forged signatures. Stolen Apache territory, bought with blood. Nayeli had seen it all, and they killed her for it. Harlan reached for his gun, and Cole shot the badge clean off his chest. The metal spun in the dust, and that was the moment. The town broke. Men started talking fast, desperate, confessing about night raids, stolen land, families erased from maps. The Apache elders rode in silent faces carved from stone. They listened, they did not interrupt when the last lie fell apart. Cole handed them the proof and stepped back. Justice was no longer his to carry. The elders spoke one sentence, and the weight of it crushed Dust Creek. The guilty would leave before sunset or face judgment older than the town itself. Fires burned by evening wagons, rolled out men who once ruled, now ran. Dust Creek emptied screaming into the desert, and The wind carried Nayeli's name where it had never been allowed to go before. Time moved different on the ranch after that, slower, quieter, like the land itself was finally breathing again. Cole Remington stayed when anyone with sense would have left. He rebuilt the fences one post at a time, repaired the house, scrubbed the beam clean until no shadow remained, but some stains do not wash away. They become memories spring. Came grass pushing through dirt where blood had dried. Birds returned to the rafters, and the shed no longer felt like a grave, but a place of truth. The Apache elders came one morning not for anger, not for thanks, but to stand in silence. A wooden marker was placed near the shed, carved deep with one name, Nayeli. No titles, no lies, just truth. Cole touched the wood and promised the land would never be stolen again. Seasons passed, the ranch grew, strong horses filled the corral. Laughter replaced whispers, travelers stopped and heard the story and carried it farther than Dust Creek ever could. Some stories fade in the west, burned away by sun and time. Others root themselves into the soil and refuse to die. This was one of those stories, a story of $22 paid for land that remembered everything, a story of a girl they tried to erase and a truth that would not stay buried. Cole sometimes stood at sunset watching the light fall across the hills and felt her presence, not as fear, not as sorrow, but as strength. The West had taken much from its people, but every once in a while it gave something back, justice earned, with courage paid for in blood and remembered by the land itself. And as long as that ranch stood, Nayeli's truth would stand with it unbroken and free.